heroes and heroines of all ages. When the world tells you to get a life, you're always welcome at the One Up Block. My name is Dan the Man, your host, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Persona 1. When we last left off, we were getting the rest of the talking out of the way, which there was a motherload. Like, when I say that there's a lot of talking in this game to build up the world, I'm not lying to you. And again, I'm sorry. Also, the last episode may have sounded a little deadpan to you guys. Like, I was talking like this the whole time, you know, just kind of softly and not really trying to be exciting at all. So, like I said, the last episode was sort of it was like an experiment with the audio, and it sort of just went horribly wrong. So that's why now I get to be exciting again. I get to talk, I get to be super duper excited, because now I've just gone back to talking directly into the mic. I'm done with my experimenting. Hopefully this sounds okay, because if it does, I'm just gonna stick with this and just gonna shut up about my audio until I can upgrade. Yeah, that's really, there's nothing else I can do, really. And if I want to keep putting out content and making you guys happy, I have to just settle and stop being a bitch baby. But today, we're actually gonna get to do some cool shit. Wink wink nudge nudge, without spoiling too much. We're gonna get to go to the hospital and do some cool shit. But without further ado, let's continue the story, shall we? There's some time until our examinations. Let's visit Maki first then. Best not be idle after all. Heh, cold man. By the way, Maki's in room 302. You're pretty well informed, Masao. Shut up. A friend of mine told me. Yo, Daniel, let's go already. Okie doke. So, yeah, but ooh, who's that standing behind the Atlas? By the way, that's some pretty shameful, product placement there, but who's that standing behind that, vending machine? Oh dear, I've been spotted. I would ask that you keep my presence a secret from the young master. Okie doke, no matter, Jeeves, I got you, fam. But here we have more dungeon crawliness. There's really nothing to do here. You can go exploring, but most of these doors are locked. It's very Silent Hill, actually, which is kind of terrifying, but we're trying to go to the 3rd floor. However, you can stop in some of these extra floors up here and talk to this guy. He'll give you some extra stuff. Look, Akiko, Hiroshi came to visit. That's right, Hiroshi's here. Thanks for coming all this way, Hiroshi. Listen to the old man? Why not? Now listen here, Hiroshi. A man's soul is a complex thing. The things a person shows to the outside world isn't necessarily what he thinks. You have to dig deep to find out the truth they're hiding. That's actually pretty deep, old man. Thanks for the commentary. But that's not what we're here for. There's nothing else for you to really do here, so make your way up to the 3rd floor. There's another old man to talk to, but there's really no need. You don't have to. The room we're looking for is room 302, so the 2nd door on the right. Let's go! I have to go, but you should get some fresh air sometime. It's good for you. That's right, Maki. Why don't we go for a walk tomorrow? Well, that girl doesn't look like she's doing too good. Maki Sanomura, a chronically ill classmate who's been hospitalized for over a year now. Oh ho! It seems your real medication has arrived. I'll leave you kids to be. Daniel, you all came. Thanks. You're so thoughtful, Masao. What do you mean? I told Masao I wanted to see everyone when he was here last time. Isn't that why you all came? Yes, it is. Oh, and Yuko said she'll come by to return a book she borrowed. Gate to Paradise, I think it was? Ah, that's okay. I've read it so many times, I practically have it memorized. Alright, I'll tell her next time I see her. So, how are you? You doing okay? Uh-huh, I'm doing much better. I wonder if it's because of that good dream. It's hard to remember, but I keep dreaming of a really nice man. He's like a father. Like that, oh, I don't know what that was. My computer just made a noise, sorry. Like that doctor? He seemed nice. I don't like him. Did he do something to you? No, that's not it. I just don't like doctors. Well, let's talk about other stuff then. Hey, how about your mom? How's she doing at Sebek? She's not my mom. She cares more about her job than me. She doesn't care about me at all. Sorry. Oh, it's alright. No! Maki? What's wrong? Hey! This isn't good. Call a doctor.
I do hope it's nothing serious.
Damn it.
An earthquake?
Whoa, it's a big one!
The hell? Hold on!
It seems to have subsided.
Maki! Whoa! What the hell? Where'd the room go?
What? How was that? No, I was positive that was the ICU a moment ago. Huh? That scream! It came from downstairs! Let's go!
Well. Sorry, I'm taking a drink. Fresh meat. Meat is here. What's with these guys? The dead patient suddenly got up and walked. That old man rescued me. No! Sorry, that was actually kind of forced. What? These guys were dead? Is this for real? Yamaoka? Yamaoka, you bastard! How dare you! I'll never forgive you bastards! Careful, guys. How the hell are we supposed to fight something that's already dead? Thou art I, and I am thou. From the sea of thy soul I cometh. I shall lend you my strength. Dan's persona Simon Congo reached rank 2. Mark's persona Ogun reached rank 2. Yukino's persona Vesta has reached rank 2. Nanjo's persona Aizen Mio has reached rank 2. And that was our first encounter. I changed the music. If you're a fan of the game, you know that wasn't supposed to play there, but that's the music that plays from the PlayStation 1 game, and they took it out for the PSP version, and I figured it kind of took away from the experience of the First Awakening. I forgot what it's called, but it plays every time a character gets their persona, so yeah, I felt it fitting to play it. It's probably still playing in the background right now, but I mean, my voice is so bassy, if I keep talking, you can barely hear the music in the background anyway, so I apologize about that, but I don't know, I can't help the sexy, deep voice that I unfortunately have. But that was our first battle, and we didn't really have to do shit. Okay, so here's the other thing about this, is your main character can actually put into stats, and mostly, the only stats you want to put into is Dex, Agility, or Luck. I'm going to be maxing out Dex as fast as possible because that's just the way I play. But Strength increases weapon damage, I believe. Vitality increases defense and health, overall health, I think. Dex just puts into a lot of stuff, like I'll put into it right now. Like, say we get attack, hit, and evasion. So that's really good. You get a bunch of stats for Dex, and most personas won't have nearly as much dex as if you would max it out. So I'm going to be maxing out dex first. Agility, I'm not really... Agility assures that your character will go first in any given battle. Like, the higher the agility, the higher chance that you will go before the demons. So that's another good stat to put into it. Also, I think affects how easily you can run away from a battle. So that's definitely a fucking plus. And then luck increases your chances of getting critical hits, and it also increases the chance that you'll find items from demons. So if you plan on collecting items from the demons, dumping a bunch of points into luck is not a bad idea. But like I said, I'm going to be putting everything into dex, and then probably into agility so I can run away from fights later. But for now, just dex. And then you don't get to put into the stats of your teammates. They just sort of get theirs on their own. And that's pretty much it. If you see those orange bars that are showing up above the pink, that's the character's persona stats. And the way this game works is if your persona has higher stats than the character that it's equipped to, the character's stats will then be increased to whatever the persona stats are. So Mark's natural strength is where that white line is, but because his persona actually goes past that point, that's his maximum attack power now, so his strength has actually been increased due to the persona. But if you look down at agility, agility is just like the pink bar with the white line, so that means that his agility is better than the persona's. So that's where it stops. So that's pretty much all that there is to that. So it's pretty cool that your personas can actually determine your stats. So that's pretty baller. And everybody gets their increased stuff. Yamaoka, don't go. You wouldn't leave me behind, right? Right, Yamaoka? Oh, young master, don't be so sad. It spoils your handsome face. You're a fine Japanese man, and a man must stand on his own someday. It seems that this will be the last service I can provide for you. No. No, I won't let you leave me. Hang in there, Yamaoka. It's time I said farewell. Just one last thing. Please promise me, young master. Promise me to become the #1 man in the country and carry Japan on your back. Of course I will. When that time comes, you'll see. So until then... That's my young master. I will always be in your heart. Yamaoka? Hey, answer me. I'm begging you. Yamaoka! Nanjo. Let him alone. I think that's supposed to be leave him alone, but, you know, typos. Hey, Daniel. Could you hear their voices? That thing said it was me. I heard it too. You think it was that persona thing? It said it would lend us power, so I kinda doubt it's hostile. If we're lucky, maybe it'll listen to what we tell it. I guess we might as well go on calling it persona. That's how it felt to me too. I have a bad feeling about this. Let's go. Well, holy shit. Stuff has gone down. We actually haven't done our first battle yet, but that technically counted as a battle, even if it was just us getting our personas. How you doing, Nanjo? Yamaoka, what should I do? Without you, I'm all alone. No one is here to encourage me. No one will stand by me. Ah, that's bullshit. I'll stand by you, my dude. Ah, poor Yamaoka. Well, okay. He's already gone. Nanjo seemed like the little boy in front of that old guy. Failing to protect the ones you love. Nothing hurts worse than that. I didn't think he was gonna cry. He must have really loved that old guy. Well, no shit, it's his butler. Ah, don't worry. We're gonna get revenge for you, Nanjo, my dude. So, before we move anywhere, the hospital has now transformed into RPG Central. So from now on, we're going to be running into fights, and all the fights in this place are not difficult. However, I am going to tell you what we're going to be doing as far as the fights go. I'm going to show off demons twice. The first time I'm going to show you how to deal with them, which you're going to see what that is in a second. I'm not going to spoil it even though it's about to happen literally as we get into our first fight. And then the second time I'm going to show you their stats and their abilities, and I'll give you some information on them if I know something specific, like if they're dicks and can insta-kill you. But mostly, the reason I'm doing it like this is because you have to do the first thing we're going to do before you can actually look at the stats of the monster that you're doing. So, like, you have to do what we're about to do first, and then if you see them again in another fight, you can show off their stats and stuff. So we're actually going to be showing demons off twice. So it's kind of annoying, but once we get it out of the way, I'll mostly be skipping the fights because it's all going to be the same, and I'm going to be grinding, so, you know, in between I'm just going to stop and go and stop and go. But you guys know this, we've played Pokemon before, but without further ado, I'm going to force a fight real quick. That room right there is just a save. And here's our first fight, basic battle controls. Directional pads is to choose the options, X button is to confirm, circle button is to cancel. L button displays ally status, R button displays enemy status. And if you're playing on a PS TV, L2 and R2 do the same as L1 and R1. Start button, skip the visual effects, toggles persona summoning and character movement on and off. I'm going to be turning this off mostly. They're only going to be, they're going to get turned off automatically for boss fights, I think. So even if they aren't, I'm going to make sure that the persona summonings are playing during the boss fights. But for normal grinding and showing off monsters, I'm going to turn it off because there's really no reason for it to be there. It kind of takes up time, so bleh. The demon spoke to you. Let's answer it. Something smells nice. Are you wearing perfume? Wait, are you insinuating something with that? Well, excuse me for being smelly. So this is another big mechanic of the game, is contacting the demons. So not only can you fight the enemies in RPG style, which is typical RPG stuff, you know, you beat them up, you get experience, and you get items. But aside from that, you can actually talk to the demons and have a conversation with them, and if you look at the top left, you see their current mood. Depending on what you, like over here you can see right now, I can persuade, taunt, invite, or sing. If I do any of these, it'll either make them happy, make them scared, make them eager, or make them angry. Every character has different ones that you can use, and each demon specifically has something that makes them eager and what makes them happy. Making them eager is what you really want to do, because once you make a demon eager, they'll give you their spell card. And I can't tell you what that does yet, but they're very important, and in the hospital I'm actually going to be collecting every spell card from every demon I possibly can, and then I'll be grinding off screen, so yay for that. But for right now, this is a zombie nurse, and I actually have a guide pulled up, which I'm going to post in the description below, because having this guide, number one, is going to make it easier for me to do the Let's Play, because I have to show you guys what you need to do for each demon. And then aside from that, having it handy is really nice. If you're the kind of person who just wants to play the game normal, and you want to figure out the contacts for yourself, by all means, if you can get more out of the game that way, then do it. I'm encouraging it, but to make it easier on myself, I use this guide. Even when I'm just normally playing the game, I use the guide because I like the contact system, but after the first time I played the game and did it on my own, I kind of just prefer to use the guide so I know, because my memory is horrible, and I am not going to remember half of these because there's a lot of demons in this game, and they all have specific things that make them eager, so you know, that I'm not even going to do anything with that. But aside from making a demon eager, you can also make them happy, which making them happy will either make them leave, give you an item, or they'll get a status called happiness, where they're just so lost in happiness that they refuse to attack you, which is very nice. They do have a chance to attack you still, but they also have a chance to not attack you because they're so happy. Making them scared will obviously make them run away, and if you piss them off and make them angry, they will either run away or get really pissed off and get a free turn to attack you. So you gotta be careful about that. But for the zombie nurse, if I look over to the left, when I'm showing these off, I might take a few seconds to actually look at the stuff because I have the website pulled up to the left of me. But the zombie nurse requires the main character to taunt. Dan taunted the demon. you're rather childish. I don't entirely mind, but... So, you keep doing it, and they actually have unique stuff to say to you based on what you do. So that's kind of cool. If you want to experience all of them, you do have to play the game for yourself, because I'm only going to be making them eager. I may make them happy sometimes, but that'll be on accident, because sometimes the eager will also piss them off and make them happy, because it's not 100% guaranteed that you're going to make them what you want. It does have a little bit of RNGesus to it, which is random number generator, if you didn't know. So it's unfortunate, but mostly we're going to be making them eager so we can get their spell cards. Haha, who do you think's stronger, you or me? Alright, so one more taunt. So, you had a request for me. So, once you make them fully eager, or fully anything, they'll do something specific. Like, if you make them fully happy, they may give you an item or do what I already said. If you make them fully scared, they'll maybe give you a free item and then haul ass. But you can also do something where you fuse, I think you can only fuse 2 of them, but I'm not sure. I only ever do 2. So, like, if you make them eager and happy at the same time, and both of the lights are flashing before you get this full color, it'll flash both colors, and what that'll do is it gives you access to special effects, like angry and eager, you can still get their spell card and they'll run away. Or eager and happy, they'll give you some free shit, and they have different effects, and really they don't really, I said really twice, they don't amount to too much, but it is a nice touch to the game that'll, you know, increase your replayability of it, and it just increases the overall experience. So that's pretty cool. But we're gonna get that spell card. Here's my card. I just want to be beautiful again. So they all have like comments too about what they want you to do with their card, and you obtain the zombie nurse spell card. So the spell cards are actually your main access to personas. You're not locked into using one specific persona. We started with one, obviously, but later we can change them, and how we do that I'm not going to say yet, but we can create and use different personas, but that's about all I can say about that. But yeah, we got the false fake first fight out of the way, which is just the awakening of our personas, and then we got our first actual real in-game fight out of the way, and I think I've pretty much explained everything from demon contacting. Next time I'll have to explain fighting, but yeah, I mean, well, actually, you know what? Before we go, let me just explain fighting real quick. So let's run back and forth until we get an actual fight. And we have a bunch of cool dudes. So we have Fight, Contact, Analyze, Form, Auto, and Escape. Escape is obvious, that's running away. Auto, you can actually automatically use weapons, guns, use individual auto actions, which I think is just them determining what is the best for this situation to use, which is pretty cool if that's it. You can also automatically set their actions as well, and then you can also use Replay, which just does the last attack that you did. So, say you go to Fight, and here we have Attack, Shoot, Skill, Persona, Item, Guard. Those are all pretty obvious, so I'm not even going to explain many of those, but say we go into attack and we use skill and we do Garu with Dan, which is a wind spell. We use Hama with this guy. We use Tackle with this guy. And then we use Frey with this guy. Once we do this, you'll see the attacks play out. This is their animations. I'm going to show them off right now because why not? That's Hama. Hama applies a burn. It does holy damage or light damage and then applies a burn afterwards. Frey is gravity, I think. It's either gravity or nuclear. But I don't know. We'll figure it out in a little bit. Dan just used Garu, which is a wind spell, and he used Tackle, which is a physical skill, which I think is tied to his axe, I believe. But, yeah, now that we've done that, if we go to Auto and hit Replay, they'll redo the attacks that I told them to do in the last turn, which I'm gonna skip now, since you've seen the animations. And here's another cool thing about Persona 1 and 2, is Personas level up via use. So when you use a persona, like you make them do an attack, it has to specifically be the persona. You can't attack with the main character or the characters. You can't make them use their guns or their physical weapons. They have to use the skills from their persona. So Dan used Garu, and he used Simon Congo enough to where he actually ranked up. So he reached rank 3, and he learned Daylight, which is, I don't know, that's some sort of buff skill. I don't know 100% the skills in this game, but we can look at them when we're in the menus, so we'll do that along the way. I'm not here to fully explain this entire game for you guys. I'm going to play the game, get the story to you, and I'm going to tell you how to do all the demon stuff, and I'm going to give you the best strategy for each of the boss fights. That's my plan, at least. I'm not trying to go super in-depth with this, but I just, this is complicated. This game is actually stressing me the hell out when I'm thinking about doing it for the Let's Play, but, whatever. So, you rank them up by using them, which is super cool, and then when you win, you get the experience in Viola. So that's pretty much all you need to know. Demons are weak to specific things. Like, some of them will be weak to certain types of magic, or magic as a whole. Some of them will absorb magic. Some of them will reflect magic. Absorbing means they get health back if the demon, like Pixie, which you can find in the hospital, if you use Garu on a Pixie, it'll reflect the damage, and it sends it back at you 2-time-fold, so you actually take more damage, unless you guard it. Unless the persona you have guards the element that you're using, then it just doesn't do anything. But if you use, like, Garu on something that absorbs wind, it'll get health back, which is bad. They can also reflect, or take no damage from certain attacks. Like, if they just block fire damage and you use a fire skill, they won't take any damage from it. It's just a wasted skill. However, using the skill will still rank up your persona. So if you want to rank up your persona and you don't care about hitting the demons, it's actually a pretty good way to rank them up. But yeah, every demon has its specifics. We're going to be looking at them individually, but like I said, first you have to contact the demon. You have to get its card. Once you've contacted the demon and you have its card, I'm not even sure if you need the card. You might just have to contact it once. But I'm just going to say, for the sake of saying it, once you have a demon's card, you can press R1, I think, was to analyze the demon. And if you don't have its card or you didn't contact it, it will just have question marks everywhere because you don't know shit about the demon. But if you have its card, it'll tell you all its moves, its stats, what it's weak to, what it is strong against. So that's really cool, but it's kind of weird, but at the same, it makes sense. But for Let's Play purposes, it's going to be kind of annoying to show off, but we'll make it through this. We finally started the adventure. We're almost 30 minutes in again, and I've just been doing some explanation, but hey, at least it's worthwhile explanations, right? But that's all the time we have for this one. A hero's work is never done. Join me again next time as we continue to tackle Persona 1. Later days, everybody.